with the urban debate tonight. I'm Seher Zama. And the question that we're asking tonight on whether a political party which is sitting in a state government call up its people and allege that their name has been deleted from the voters list and insist that yes, it has been deleted and we will help you get your name back on the list. Your name missing from the voter list could be a real fear. It has happened in elections in the past, but what's the method, the modus operandi, so to say, used by the Aam Aadmi Party? Was that method correct in spreading this confusion? Several voters cross-checked and found that their name is on the list, it's not been deleted. So can a state government create this breach of trust between voters and the Election Commission without conducting an inquiry, without any evidence? Also, let's try to also understand what exactly compelled the Delhi government to act in this manner.
On the debate tonight, massive voter list controversy rocks the national capital. The scandal began when citizens across Delhi started receiving mysterious calls.
अखबारों में पढ़ा होगा कि बीजेपी ने दिल्ली में 30 लाख लोगों के नाम वोटर लिस्ट से कटवा दिए हैं। मुख्यमंत्री केजरीवाल जी ने ये लिस्ट इलेक्शन कमीशन से बहुत ही मुश्किल से निकलवाई है।
मेरे पास भी कॉल आई 4 तारीख को कि आपके यहाँ संतोष देवी कौन है। मैंने कहा बोलिए। बोले आप संतोष देवी का नाम कट गया। मैंने कहा कैसे कट गया? बोले कि बीजेपी वालों ने कटवा दिया और केजरीवाल साहब मतलब जुड़वा देंगे।
Then, Mirror Now investigations revealed that the Aam Aadmi Party was making the mystery calls after they claimed over 30 lakh citizens' names were deleted from the voter list.
दिल्ली के अंदर बड़े पैमाने पर वोट काटे गए हैं और जिन लोगों का वोट काटा गया है उनका वोट बनवाने की जिम्मेदारी एक राजनीतिक पार्टी होने के नाते हमारी है और उस काम को हम कर रहे हैं।
Taking the investigations further, Mirror Now spoke to Delhi Chief Election Officer about the voter list. Dismissing the Aam Aadmi Party's claims, he says addition and deletion of names in the voter list is routine.
Deletion of voters and addition of voters is a normal exercise and carried out as per the law by following the due procedure. And in each and every case, due procedure has been followed.
As the voter list controversy explodes, Mirror Now asks, is the Aam Aadmi Party playing petty politics over democracy? And importantly, is Aam Aadmi Party misleading Delhi voters? Let's debate.
All right, let's throw this open to our panelists tonight with us. We have Charu Pragya, leader of the BJP, Vinod Sharma, senior journalist, Professor Jagdeep Chokar, who's the founder of ADR, it is better known as the Association for Democratic Reforms, Akshay Marathe, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, the party which has made all these calls to the people, Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate of the Supreme Court, Syed Abbas, political analyst. Let's make a start here first. In a neutral voice, Syed Abbas as political analyst. Syed Abbas, do you agree with what the Aam Aadmi Party here is alleging, to the extent blaming the BJP for having caused this deletion in the list?
I think, Sahar, on a very fair front, what needs to be done is there needs to be a special investigation team coming in so that they are able to ascertain who is lying. Is it the Bharatiya Janata Party or is it the Aam Aadmi Party? When a detailed inquiry is conducted on a very fair side, monitored well, chosen by both the parties, only then we will be able to come in results, because this is a very serious matter. Every voter has the right, and if deleted, it's going to be tough. What we see here, Aam Aadmi Party claiming that Purvanchali, Bania and the Muslim votes being deleted off the lists of about 30 lakh votes. Well, that is quite an astronomical figure which I can see. But precisely now, Manoj Tiwari, the Delhi BJP chief, says there's been 9 lakh voters which have been added since 2015. So here now it all counts down to who are the deleted ones? As stated by the Election Commission, it is the 1.9 lakh voters which have either changed their address, they've moved the constituency, or the death and so on so causes. So the only solution here to know the truth or the false, a special investigation team is what I definitely recommend. That is for the best concern of the institution.
All right, and that's what the Election Commission has asked for as well.
For it.
Yes, the Election Commission having asked the Delhi police to register their FIR and start investigations here. Vinod Sharma, is the method here that is being employed by AAP? Of course, we're going to be getting into more details of why your name missing on a given voters list can be a real fear. It has happened in the past. We've seen that happening in the recent most state elections here as well. But the method employed by AAP in calling up people, many of those people called up already had their name on the list, was not deleted, but AAP continuing to insist that yes, it's been deleted, the BJP has done this, and we're going to help you get your name back on the list.
Well, there has been a lot of problems with the voters list across India. So this list is not a perfect list. And a lot of human errors, a lot of deliberate errors, sometimes at times manipulations. AAP has also cited the case of Jwala Gutta, who's a nationally renowned player of badminton. And her name was missing from the list.
Right.
Though she saw her name on the website of the Election Commission. Now, how can the Election Commission explain these kind of shortcomings in the list? If the person is there, he wants to vote, and his name is not on the list, you are effectively disenfranchising him. It's a serious thing. It vitiates democracy. Worry is that these days, the integrity of every data is suspect. For instance, you know, the joblessness data, there's a huge debate about it. Which data is correct, which data is not correct, whether NSSO is the right agency to decide as to what's the quantum of people without jobs, and whether it is the Niti Aayog. So I'm sorry. You see, the integrity of Indian data is suspect not just within India today, it is suspect worldwide. And that is why investors are fighting shy of coming and investing in India. If they really do not know what
Mr.
exactly
Vinod
is
Sharma,
the state of the Indian economy.
It's not just about
through institutions that
It's not just about raising a suspicion on the functioning of the Election Commission. It's also profiling. It's profiling people and saying that, look, you're a Muslim, you belong to a Banya community, you're Purvanchali, and your name is not on the list. It's also immediate profiling of people and raising that suspicion. Is that fair?
Yeah, so now may I say one thing? I'm sorry. Now listen, may I say one thing? We can be, you know, this kind of self-righteous indignation is not proper. Please understand. If the list is vitiated, and I can question the Election Commission, there is nothing sanctimonious about the Election Commission. It is not above public scrutiny. I think Election Commission has to be under public scrutiny. And lately, the Election Commission of the time we have seen during Sessions time, I mean, there have been a lot of questions raised about the way they have gone about conducting polls and the way they have gone about doing some other things and preparing the lists. This question was also raised in Madhya Pradesh before the assembly election,
we also seen a front. If I can come in, please.
No, I'll have to take in all our panelists first. Mr. Vinod Sharma, we got that point. Okay, yes, there have been past instances, without doubt. At the start of the show, we established that this is a valid concern, but the way AAP sitting in government in Delhi has gone about it, we're questioning the manner in which they've gone about this as well. Mr. Sanjay Hegde, would you agree with these efforts, so to say, that Aam Aadmi Party continues to maintain that we are helping out people of Delhi? If their names are not on the voters list, we can help you. The BJP has deleted your name. Can this be seen as a criminal offense? Because many people, many voters who received this call cross-checked, found out online that their name is on the list. It's not been deleted. You are spreading misinformation at the end of the day then.
Well, I don't see any specific section of the criminal law under which you can actually book up. The thing is that because of these calls, people have at least taken the trouble of checking up their names on the electoral register. Otherwise, what happens like Jwala Gutta or anybody else is that you turn up at the voting booth on the day and suddenly then make a then yell that, oh, my name is not on the register. The revision of electoral rolls is a normal exercise, yes. But the Election Commission has on previous occasions also run into trouble on these revisions. Sometimes these revisions are done in a very arbitrary manner, because the Election Commission in turn, it depends on other people who do the actual groundwork, and sometimes they are school teachers or whoever else they have managed to commandeer. Way back in 1995, there's a Supreme Court judgment of 3 judges called Lal Babu Hussain, which records that there were wholesale deletions in areas like Matia Mahal in Delhi of Muslim voters and certain other communities. So that it's not as if this is a new thing. It has happened before. And today what is the difference is that parties are getting smarter and are fighting for every vote. Vinod Sharma mentioned Madhya Pradesh. I know for a fact that senior bureaucrats actually warned some of the political parties that there were excess voters who had been padded into the system for quite some time. The parties then went after those excess voters, the people whose names were there but who had moved on dead, and somebody else was voting for them. And it was as a consequence of that revision that possibly the election in Madhya Pradesh, which was very close, swung one way. What I want to say is that irrespective of the method, the very fact that citizens are being cautioned to check their names in the electoral roll is a very good thing. I would use your channel to tell everyone, please go on to the electoral rolls now. You may decide that you may not, you don't like X politician or you want to vote for Y politician. That decision will be useless if your name is not there on polling day. So even today, right now, during this program, please go on the ECI website and check that your name is still there.
Right. So you're, of course, looking at a positive out of this, which has perhaps pushed some of the voters to actually cross-check whether their name is on the list there or not. Professor Chokar, in your view, as Mr. Vinod Sharma was saying that let's not have the Election Commission above scrutiny. If concerns have been raised, if there are past instances, and without doubt there are past instances of the Telangana elections, of even the Mumbai BMC polls where several names were missing, Madhya Pradesh that has been mentioned, Uttarakhand, one entire community's name were missing there in the elections. Is the new initiative that has been started by the Election Commission, which is called the VVIP, the Voter Verification and Information Program. Now, that is a system that has already been put in place by the Election Commission. Is that not foolproof?
See, one, at least as far as I can see, the electoral roll is a huge and a very complex exercise. People move, people, some people die, some new voters become eligible. To have a 100% error-free electoral roll, in my opinion, is not possible, number one. Number two, having said that 100% electoral roll is not possible, it does not mean that there should be systematic errors in the electoral roll. Random errors one can understand. There are errors of omission and errors of commission. But when there is a doubt that comes up about systematic manipulation of electoral rolls, and I use that word rather cautiously, that creates a serious doubt. For example, I believe that in Karnataka, some 6 million votes or some were deleted, or 6 lakhs. And then in a summary revision, in a hurry, 2 lakhs voters were added. And there was an article in the Economic and Political Weekly on that issue. Now, such things create doubts about what exactly is happening in the Election Commission or under the Election Commission. As somebody said, that the people who do this on the ground are the what are called BLOs, booth level officers. They are local people, and some of them are perhaps, I hope they are not, but some of them may be inefficient, and some of them may also be ideologically influenceable. Now, when such doubts come up, I think the Election Commission has to be very, very proactive in assuring people at large that there is nothing wrong, and mere assurances in today's world don't work. They have to show and prove that there is no systematic problem. Now, this is where, if the Election Commission, in one state it is very, very stringent, in another state it is not that stringent, that creates a little, again, a misgiving. The Election Commission is a neutral body. It should remain neutral. And like, Caesar's wife being above suspicion, it should not only be neutral, it should also be seen to be neutral. So it's a very difficult job. Not that it cannot be done, it has been done over the years. But at the same time, the political atmosphere
which is why perhaps the Delhi police should start its investigations, because the allegation is a huge count. AAP, they're maintaining that there's been a deletion of 30 lakh names, which is huge, which is still to be scrutinized on where they're getting this figure from. In fact, Akshay Marathe would be able to explain that. Stay with us, Akshay. Just quickly getting in the BJP before that. Charu Pragya, the allegation here being that the Election Commission has become a political tool. The Election Commission acting in only after the BJP delegation met the EC and accused AAP of making these calls to the voters.
Seher, I have a request to make. I don't know if you have a recording of the calls that were being made to the people of Delhi, but if you can get hold of that through your production, it would be wonderful to play it out. Because once you hear that recording, all the viewers will understand.
It out for our viewers at the start of the show. Everyone's heard it.
This entire phone call is, and yes, and it is okay. So when you hear it, it is very suspicious on the first account itself. It is so suspicious. So you can make out that these calls are not neutral. In fact, I find it downright offensive that people can sit and blame the Election Commission. I have to remind everyone, the Election Commission of India is one of the most applauded bodies worldwide, because it conducts elections in such a fair and fantastic manner in the largest democracy of the world. So it is actually shameful that we are pointing fingers on the Election Commission because of a suspect phone call like this one. Another point I want to raise here is,
no, but Charu, while you say that, what are the corrective measures? But Charu, while you say that on why not point fingers at the Election Commission, what are the corrective measures that the Election Commission has taken on errors that were made, on names missing in the Telangana elections, in the Madhya Pradesh, in the Rajasthan elections, 7.9 lakh voters at the most? We just had some officers within the Election Commission apologizing. Sorry, your name's not there. We can't do anything. What are the corrective measures in the past that have been taken by the Election Commission? Charu, please listen to what I'm saying.
Sir, let me finish making my point. I have several more things to add to what I was saying. Another thing I want to say is, if you take to Twitter or if you speak to the people who've received these kind of phone calls, most of them have cross-checked and then they have spoken about it openly, and they have said there is nothing wrong with our name on the voter list. We are right there and somebody is spreading misinformation. And I'll tell you how this has been continuing. Now, Aam Aadmi Party has been known to be a party which does not tolerate any kind of dissent. Every time elections are close, it comes up with a new drama. This is the latest one. 41 complaints of corruption against its MLAs to the Lok Ayukt of Delhi. 1360 complaints against its MLAs in the last 2 years. 50 out of its 66 MLAs in Delhi have refused
Okay, no,
to give
you're
details
digressing
of
from the
their
point.
What
I'm
has this
afraid-
got to do with the
No,
matter
Charu,
we're
you-
discussing?
Let's just stick to the issue here, Charu. This cannot be a platform for you to bash AAP randomly across the board.
This is reflected.
Akshay Marathe, please respond. Akshay Marathe, please
No, I
respond
have
to
a
all
reason
that
for
our
saying all
panelists
this.
have
When you
said.
look at the
While you
ethics
have
of the
raised
party,
a valid
it is very
concern,
obvious-
the method
it
in
is
which
very
this has
obvious
gone
that it
about
does not
perhaps
walk
is
a straight
questionable.
line.
Also
It
a
does
flip.
not mark
Charu, are you
crossing
anchoring the
fence
show
to
or am
wrong
I to
side
take the
if it
questions to
suits
my
them
panelists, please?
electorally, and this is being proved.
Charu, you cannot be heard. Akshay Marathe of AAP, of the Aam Aadmi Party, please respond
If
on
I'm going
questions
to
that
be
are
on
being
your show,
raised,
you
on
have to allow
suspicion
me
that
my
is
time
being
to
raised,
speak.
on the
Just because
method
you
that is
don't
being
agree
used
with
by
me, you
AAP.
can't tell me to
Your
keep
leaders
quiet,
have
right?
flip-flopped as well. First having denied made those calls, and then eventually Gopal Rai admitting that these calls were made by us.
Sir, let me first begin by telling your viewers why the Aam Aadmi Party believes the Election Commission is being partisan and it has been compromised. A few months ago, the Election Commission put up a list of 24 lakh voters who they have deleted on their own. And that's when Aam Aadmi Party first became suspicious of this activity. Then what we did is we asked all our volunteers across Delhi to actually verify these voter deletions. I have myself gone to some parts of Mayur Vihar and Patparganj to find out if the names that have been deleted, if the people whose names have been deleted are still living in the same place. And I found at least 2 out of 3 people whose names had been deleted who were continuing to live in the same residence. When we found this out, we took this up with the Election Commission. The Chief Minister himself approached the Election Commission about this. We had very simple demands. Number one, we said, put out a list of these 24 lakh people across Delhi, let people find out that their names have been deleted, and also set up camps across Delhi so that those whose names have been deleted by fault or by mistake can actually enroll again into the voter list. The second demand we had made to the Election Commission was to investigate how these names were deleted. Because one is that you have to
Akshay,
apply
very quickly, if you could help us understand when exactly when this concern was raised.
This concern was raised about 3 months ago when your own channel had also reported on this, when Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Raghav Chadda, an AAP leader, had together gone to the Election Commission. And that's when the Election Commission actually responded by saying Aam Aadmi Party is lying and there is no such list. And then they have the gall to delete that list from their website. So now if you go on the website, you will no longer find any evidence of this. Whereas the Election Commission has accepted that this list used to be on its website but is now no longer available. Why is that? That is question number one. Number two is, if Aam Aadmi Party in good faith has approached the Election Commission with an issue, why did the Election Commission refuse to investigate this deletion? Why did it refuse to set up voter registration camps across Delhi? You have to understand that in our democracy, this is the most important right that I as an ordinary voter have. So if a political party believes that lakhs of voters have been wrongly deleted from the list, it is our duty, it is our responsibility to make people aware about this. It is a responsibility to create enough pressure on the Election Commission.
But Akshay, how are you so certain? How are you so certain that you have a list? How are you so certain that AAP has the list which has been verified, which has been cross-checked upon? Because so many voters who've received your calls have said that we were forced into cross-checking because of AAP's insistence, and we eventually found out that our names have not been deleted. So effectively, they're going back home thinking that AAP has lied to us.
Sir, that's a very good point. Let me clarify on this. Number one, where we got this list from, like I said, we got it from the Election Commission's website. Number two, let me also clarify to your voters that the Election Commission website of Delhi, which currently has the list of voters, is not the updated list. It's a list that is a few months old. On 4th of January, the Election Commission had actually compiled a new list of voters after deleting people, after adding new voters, which all political parties have, including Aam Aadmi Party, BJP and Congress. That is how we have been able to tell that the new list is not the same as the list on its website. It's very suspicious that after giving the list to political parties on 4th of January, why is the Election Commission not updating the list on its own website? This is a very serious question that the Election Commission must have answered. But instead of answering that question, you saw the press release that the Election Commission put out, saying that not to trust these phone calls, not to believe that their names have been deleted.
So let's in fact listen to
that is if we are
Akshay,
lying,
let's including all our panelists, but a lot for AAP to hear. If we have one of our viewers here calling in, I'm being told had received one such call. We have Mr. Saif Habibullah, one of our viewers calling in. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, I just wanted to say I got multiple calls. My first call that came actually to my father, and they said, you know, who Saif Habibullah is. So he said, yes, he's my son. So they said, well, his name has been deleted from the voters list, and if you could please, you know, we'll get it amended for you or whatever. And then, so that was fine. Then the next day, again, I mean, after a week, again, I got a call to say your name is not there on the voters list. So I said, well, I have checked and my name is there. And why are you going on calling me? They said, no, your name is not there. And they just sort of kept arguing with me. So I said, well, this is a hoax call and I have to report you because it's very frustrating and upsetting for a person to keep getting these calls to say that your name is not there. So on. They could have easily, like, you know.
Right. But were you told where this call is coming from? Were you told who's caused this deletion?
Calling from Aam Aadmi Party. So I was like, you know, well, why are you calling me, you know, for this? Because I've already checked that my name is there. And, you know, they said, no, your name has been deleted. They kept talking about that. So. And so then after it was hung up because it was
all
like,
right,
my name is
if
there.
I can come into this, please. Sahar, if I
all
can
right,
just
we appreciate you sharing this experience with us. I'm going to take that response very quickly, Akshay. Very quickly, yes, Akshay.
The Election Commission has not put up the updated list. Like I was saying earlier, the Election Commission has not put out the updated list. So even if you were to check today if your name is on it, if your name was on a previous list,
no, but Akshay, should people understand this? Because here is a viewer who's called up, who's received your call and saying that I've just been troubled by AAP. I've been pestered by AAP on multiple calls for an issue that doesn't exist for him. His name is already on the voters list, and there is this insistence by someone from the other side calling up from AAP saying that no, you get this fixed, your name is not there. Syed Abbas, please step in.
Sir, if I can just come in, please. Yes, so a very important point I'd like to bring in. I speak here as the citizen of this country. We have full faith in the Constitution and democracy. It is only that the Election Commission of India should not be an agent of any political party. Not only that, of course, we have seen various overtures in terms of the CBI, ED and IT used by the centre government accordingly for the Mahagathbandhan. Nevertheless, there was also a BJP spokesperson who did mention to us saying that ECI has been applauded by the world over the Election Commission of India. I'd like to please ask for your facts and figures, ma'am. It's not a sportsperson performance of Virat Kohli, PV Sindhu or Saina Nehwal performing and being applauded by the world.
Okay.
Nevertheless, if this constitution of the democracy, which is such an important machinery, if that is played with, trust me, we the citizens of this sovereign socialist republic democratic country, we will lose complete faith. I think there should be no voter deleted unless and until of death, expiry or the change of address or the constituency. Until and unless, like I made a point, I reiterated saying that there must be a special investigation team sitting on this.
No, but this is a process
coming in.
No, but Syed Abbas, the Election Commission has stated exactly that this is procedural. Lists are updated, because of which a huge chunk of names are deleted for the very same reasons that you mentioned, either in case of death or change of location. Which is why lists are regularly updated. Mr. Vinod Sharma, would you agree on this point that it is at the end of the day
claiming that their name is not there in the list? There are voters who are claiming their name is not in the list. There is a very big percentage of voters who are claiming to not have their name. So therefore, there has to be an inquiry into it. The side of BJP, the side of AAP and the Election Commission should be undertaken. And
so there is going to be an inquiry. We're hoping that the Delhi police starts its inquiry investigations very soon. They've been instructed to file an FIR, which hasn't been done ever since that complaint was sent across on the 9th of February. Mr. Vinod Sharma, would you agree to this here that there is procedure? There is procedure that is
Seher, I want to add
that is followed by the Election Commission, and AAP has meddled with this procedure.
Well, may I say one thing? If voters are being telephoned and alerted, I'd rather welcome it. I'm awaiting a phone call to me. I haven't received any phone call. I'm a voter in Delhi. You see, Jwala Gutta found her name on the list on the computer, and when she turned up at the polling station, her name was missing. In Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, the matter went up to Supreme Court. And what were they asking for? They were saying we want list in text forms with photographs of voters. Now, Supreme Court did not agree to that,
right,
because the Election Commission took a position that the personal data could be manipulated, could be so manipulated. So they insisted that they can provide the list in PDF format. There has to be some meeting ground has to be found. Please, for God's sake, this is not about just AAP. It is about you and me. How is the AAP so sure that all these 30 lakh people would have voted for them? And how is BJP not so sure that they would have voted for them? It's amazing. 30 lakh people, in fact, in Madhya Pradesh, 20 lakh were deleted from the list and about 10 lakh added. Now, I know, as a fellow panelist of mine said, that it's a very complex, Mr. Chokar said, it's a very complex process. I agree with that. But it is the job of the Election Commission,
That's right, but Mr. Vinod Sharma, you keep quoting Madhya Pradesh. There was a clarification, right, but there is a clarification that came from the Election Commission regarding the specific case of Madhya Pradesh. Yes, but in Madhya Pradesh, 24 lakh names that were deleted, the Election Commission made it very clear that these were fake IDs, which is why they got them out of the list.
No, so fine. Okay. So how have they come to a determination that they were fake IDs? Have they shared the details with the people? How do they distinguish between a genuine voter and a fake ID? And how do I,
all right, so this is leading us to the next question.
Find out whether he's the same guy or not.
Okay. On whether we should sit here and say that the Election Commission is above board, it is above scrutiny. Charu, I'm going to be asking that next question here to you, Charu, but
the electoral process,
very quickly.
Because the Supreme Court has given it that right.
Right.
But I am saying that the Election Commission, you see, the appointees to the Election Commission are not appointed the way the CBI chief is appointed, and even there can be manipulation. I'm sorry. The process of appointment
so you're saying that this is open to manipulation. We perhaps don't have a collegium in place to appoint even the Chief Election Commissioner here. We're of course going into far more details on the very functioning of the Election Commission. Stay with us, please. Getting in one of our viewers calling in, Vaidhev Srivastav from New Delhi. Please go ahead.
Voters list relates to the functioning of the Election Commission.
Quick points.
It is the
point number one, that Aam Aadmi Party knows that they are going to be badly defeated in upcoming elections. So therefore, they are spreading these conspiracy theories.
Okay, Mr. Srivastav, you can't be heard. Mr. Srivastav, please go ahead. Mr. Srivastav, please repeat. Sorry about that.
Yes. Yeah, my first point is that Aam Aadmi Party know that they are going to be badly defeated in upcoming elections. So under a desperate move, they are trying to spread these conspiracy theories. But people are not going to be fooled. Point number two, all the people like Lalu Yadav, Kejriwal, Congress Party and TMC have come together. Everyone knows that they are one team. And people like Sanjay Hegde and Mr. Vinod Sharma are unofficial spokesperson of Congress and left-wing parties. So don't introduce them.
No personal remarks against any of our panelists, Mr. Srivastav. This is unfair. We're going to be taking the first point where you feel that the Aam Aadmi Party, perhaps in this desperate measure, is politicizing the issue.
Wants everybody to agree with him.
Charu Pragya, respond to the concerns being raised.
Thank you for coming back to
the Election Commission can be under scrutiny.
And having me here is of no use because I'm not allowed a voice. So I was trying
That's
to
not
add
right.
to those
You were allowed a voice in the beginning. You're being allowed a voice now. Don't take this personally, Charu.
Criteria.
Why is the Election Commission above board? Why cannot the Election Commission be scrutinized if there are past instances of names of voters missing from the list?
By all means, question the Election Commission. By all means, do that. It is a democracy. I would even call the bluff of Aam Aadmi Party, except that why do they have to call up people and say it is the BJP doing this? That itself exposes their political agenda. They are not out to help the people of Delhi. Their political agenda is exposed only by the fact that they say BJP. Do they have any proof before alleging all these things? Another point I want to add is Election Commission has issued a letter to the police in Delhi and it's asking for investigation into this. Now, Election Commission is agreeing that something is amiss, but it is also giving a direction and an advisory to the people. They should not fall prey to fake calls like this. Is the Election Commission wrong in doing this? Would the people on this panel be happier if the Election Commission took Aam Aadmi Party at face value only because, you know, it's coming from a political ideology that these people support? Is that how unfair you are going to be to the Election Commission? In the last 10 years in Delhi, 10 lakh people have been removed from the voting list, but
no, but Charu, did the Election Commission not take the BJP's allegation on face value?
Change addresses.
Charu, please answer this. What prompted the Election Commission to go to the Delhi police? What prompted the Election Commission to go to the Delhi police?
Does the Aam Aadmi Party have any proof about the allegation it is making to the people on
the Election Commission went to the Delhi police only after a BJP delegation met them with that allegation. Why did they not act before?
Definitely, because people have been coming with complaints. I told you they are all over. You yourself have endorsed. People have called your channel to endorse that they have been getting fake calls. So why can we not recognize this?
When the Aam Aadmi Party went to the Election Commission 3 months ago, why did the EC not act? Why did the EC act only on the 9th of Feb when the BJP delegation met them?
And that gives them the right to point fingers at another political party because they cannot tolerate dissent. Every single founding member of Aam Aadmi Party has been publicly kicked out of your party, sir. Every single founding member apart from the main one. So that is how much you tolerate dissent.
All right, Akshay Maratha, at least respond to one valid allegation, that is being raised by Charu. How do you know that these names have been deleted by the BJP and the Election Commission has been acting at the behest of the BJP and deleting these names from the voters list?
Okay. How we know that the BJP is responsible for this has, you have to look into the history of the Election Commission. For the last 2 or 3 years, the Election Commission has been behaving in a patently partisan manner. Look at what happened with the 20 MLAs who were unconstitutionally and illegally disqualified by the Chief Election Commissioner 1 day before his retirement, only to be thrown out by the Delhi High Court. The similar cases have happened across the states where non-BJP parties have been victimized and persecuted by the Election Commission. Now, when Aam Aadmi Party approached the Election Commission 3 months ago, we were not given a hearing. Nothing was done about our complaints. As soon as the BJP approached the Election Commission against the Aam Aadmi Party, the Election Commission sprung into action as if it was on a sabbatical for all these months when we were, literally shouting at the top of our voices that legitimate voters' rights have been taken away. If you look at all these incidences, the track record of the Election Commission suggests that it has been compromised by the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, which is the basis of the Aam Aadmi Party's claims that it is the BJP who is responsible for this. If the BJP is not responsible, I challenge the BJP leadership in Delhi today to come out and say we will support an investigation into the deleted voters. We will support the Election Commission.
Is AAP going to be waiting for the Delhi police investigations, or
but instead of doing that, the BJP is actually
is AAP, the Delhi government, going to be waiting for the Delhi police investigations to conclude on this?
Do not put.
Or are you already going to say that even the investigations are going to be politically motivated?
Apart from the efforts of the Election Commission, BJP is all for a free and fair investigation of every single
the Delhi
thing.
police is investigating.
Why not? We want all the
Election
voters to be
Commission.
Is AAP going to be waiting? Can AAP wait for the Delhi police investigations now?
Is the investigation into the wrongful deletion of 24 lakh of Delhi's voters. These are two different investigations. One is the investigation that Delhi police is allegedly doing into these calls. But Aam Aadmi Party has been asking for investigation for the last 3 months about
but
how
not
these
the
voters
deletion.
have been deleted.
Mr. Sanjay Hegde, please step in. This is at the end of the day, as Mr. Vinod Sharma had stated, this is not about AAP, this is not about BJP, this is not about the stand that the Congress takes. This is at the end of the day about you and me, about us the voters. And what is it that the Election Commission can do today to build that trust again from past instances and this latest controversy in Delhi?
See, the point is that I would be worried if there is a different list which is finally printed out when elections actually take place. I heard Akshay Marathe say that no, it's only the old list which is on the website. The current list is not on the website. The first thing that the Election Commission must do is to put out the list as it currently exists and then ask people, if your name has been left out, this is the procedure to get back in. Do that first. Secondly, every citizen, every voter has a right to be concerned if there is a chance that his name gets deleted. You know, in terms of US politics, I'm reminded of what the Democrats say, that the Republicans always try to suppress the vote among the marginalized. So the game out there is for the Republicans to try and keep out as many voters as possible and for the Democrats to get their voting bases to turn out on election day. That's almost similarly what is happening out here. There seems to be an economic angle.
So this is what AAP is alleging, that you have...
If a name of just 1 minute. Yes.
Right.
Yes, so just let me complete. If a poor man's name is deleted, he is not going to waste a day's wage to try and fight his for his name to come back on the list. He will lose a day's dihadi by just going after the Election Commission. And this is where political parties are stepping in to see that their voters are not necessarily eliminated. I don't see anything wrong. Of course, there may be some
so that's a valid point, because that's what AAP has also been saying all along, that at the end of the day,
there's a question of fact.
In what they feel are their findings, that you have a voter base from a certain community, be it the Muslims, the Banya or the Purvanchalis, mostly the immigrants here, whose name is largely missing from the list, is what AAP has been saying. So these are the marginalized here. Professor Chokar, final word here to you. The investigation that has been promised by the Delhi police, as instructed by the Election Commission, of course, is only to investigate where these calls are coming from, who made these calls. These calls are false claims. Action needs to be taken against these calls. But who's going to be investigating on even an iota of suspicion that has been raised, that there are names of voters missing from the list? What is it that the Election Commission should do to build that trust?
Give me a little time to say what I want to say. You see, the political parties and all of them act in a completely irresponsible manner. Let me give you a kind of an alarming but hypothetical scenario. How does a person know that this call has come from Aam Aadmi Party? The person says, I am speaking from the Aam Aadmi Party. He or she could be from the Congress, from BJP, from Samajwadi Party, whoever, who knows? And the Aam Aadmi Party member on this panel says that the website contains an old list and a new list has been given to political parties.
Yes.
To me, this whole thing sounds bizarre. Election Commission can do nothing unless political parties start behaving in a responsible manner. And I am saying this for all political parties, every one of them. Political parties believe they are above the law. They cannot do anything wrong. And if there is any law that somebody tries to apply to them, they say, we will change this law. What can the Election Commission,
Akshay Marathe, quick response here.
Anybody do?
Quick.
The police is compromised.
Right. Akshay Marathe, quick response. You said that you went to the Election Commission 3 months ago. They didn't listen to you. Why did you either go to the Delhi police for an investigation or go to court, which is what you always do? Why haven't you done that then? It's been 3 months.
I will believe that the Election Commission is not compromised if it does three things. Point number one, acknowledge that there is a problem and set up its own independent investigation. Don't involve the Aam Aadmi Party, Delhi government or any other government for that matter. Point number two, if it sets up voter registration camps across the city, asking people to come and register.
No, but the question being, if you're so convinced, Aam Aadmi Party being so convinced that they haven't still gone to court about it.
Point number three, if they put up, Aam Aadmi Party has been in court for the last 3 years about our case with the Lieutenant Governor. The matter has been reserved for the last few months now. You all know how.
So why didn't you go to court on this if you're so confident about your allegation?
It's a political fight for the political rights of this country and the political right of the citizen of this country to vote for the party he wants to vote for. That is the fight we are fighting.
No, if you want those allegations proved in pushing for an investigation,
how will the person vote?
If you are so confident about these allegations, why didn't you go to court?
Like I was saying, the judiciary may take forever to give a verdict on this, like it has done to give a verdict on the Aam Aadmi Party matter with the BJP government in power. I'm saying if in 2019, if a voter wants to vote, will he wait for the court to give a verdict on the matter or push the Election Commission to act? What is the logical thing to do?
So
there are only 2 months left for this election.
And start making misleading calls.
What law have we violated?
All right, so these are questions that are going to remain unanswered, and unfortunately, while the Aam Aadmi Party has raised a very valid issue, questions once again are going to be asked on the manner in which the method that has been used, away from the noise of all this political blame game. Here is what we need to know. Away from this political blame game, we as voters here's what we need to know. The information that matters. To check the status of our enrollment at the official website, which is nvsp.in of the Election Commission. Let's do this ourselves. Apart from that, call the voters helpline at 1950. Visit the nearest Election Commission office to check the status of your application. We should be asking for scrutiny. These are concerns that are being raised for our vote. We should be asking for further scrutiny by the Election Commission, but we should not be misled by any political party. There is a process in place. The system is transparent. The information is online for all of us to ascertain. Irrespective of what we are being told through these calls, irrespective of how any political party is trying to brainwash us. Let's be aware, let's be well-informed voters. Thank you for being with us. Thank you to all our panelists.